Good day, and welcome to the stream. We are back on Hawaii with a newer graphics card, which, by the way, didn't help. However, after all my tries, I actually forgot to start OBS in administrator mode, and that was the problem all along. Sometimes that's how things work, and it's okay. I still have use for the both graphic cards. My daughter can have one 1080 Ti and I can have one, so she actually needed a better card for her computer anyway. So it was not a bad purchase. It was actually a pretty good price too for a fresh card like that. Doesn't have many hours, and you can tell that it's really smooth and cool. Keeping itself cool. All right, back to flying. I'm gonna fix my camera. I see I missed that part. Sorry about that. There we go. Just gonna set it up a little better. It's the only thing I didn't manage to do properly is setting up the webcam in the OBS. It's kind of washed out. I don't know what's wrong with it, but it doesn't look good. And it's so different between daylight and bad lighting. So it's hard to get it to work for both. So I need to change so many settings to get it to work. I think this will do it. Come on, Forrest, you can do it. Zoom a little bit. Yeah, I don't want to have too much of myself in the image. That's not important. Yoke and the controls are important. I mean, depends who you ask, but if you ask me, it's not that important. Not in this case. Okay, well, let's try with this. Everything is well visible. And of course, there we go. I have set up a flight plan between the islands of Hawaii. There we go. We'll start on Hana. We're at Hana on the island of, let's see, I kind of have to this is not Oahu, this is Maui. Yeah, I trying to remember the names of all the islands. And well, we're gonna start off there, and we're gonna take one. We're gonna do one landing here on Papa Hotel Oscar Golf. Let's see if we actually can get up. I mean, we have the names on the log, I think. Nav log might have names, so yeah, that's Kahului, and then we're gonna fly over to Lanai. and with the airstrip of the same airfield of the same name. Then over to Molokai with the airstrip with the same name. Hello there, Wolfgang Tilches. Welcome. I finally made it. It almost defeated me, but it didn't. Then we're gonna get over to Oahu and check out Honolulu and on to Dillingham Airfield. And depending on time, because this will take some time, we might fly over to Kauai. Yeah. Can you believe it? Yeah, it was administrator all along. I had to start OBS as an administrator, or else it would just lag like that. And I am well aware of the fact that you can do that, and I have applied that on several programs. But yeah, it was just too much. So I actually forgot it. I forgot the fact that you can try that as well, and that was the problem. So I mean, it's not in vain. I can give the other 1090 to my daughter, and she will be happy because she needs it. Yay! Can hear her from the kitchen. Yay! But on Saturday we're gonna open it up and remove the thermal paste and replace the thermal paste and the thermal pads in it. So because it's something is um, not right with it when it runs hot, and it runs hot a bit. So we have to kind of eliminate that. So it might be more stable after that. Yeah. So and on my account, this 1080 Ti that I bought, I was in luck. It doesn't have many hours on it, and it you can tell because it's so smooth and stable. I actually tried Fairbanks yesterday with ATS, American Truck Simulator, where I had those crashes constantly uh, in a specific area of Fairbanks, and it never crashed once. So I was just going back and forth, and it was no issue. It didn't show any uh, load drops on the GPU because it did that with the other card. So yeah, it needs to be looked over the other card, and it will probably be fine because she doesn't play the same games I do, and it runs perfectly fine in Red Dead Redemption and GTA and other shooter games like that. So that's not going to be an issue for her anyway. It's more these simulators that are challenging for that card, and it might be not the case if we can just remove the thermal pads and replace them. All right, so this is the flight plan. Finally, I you have no idea how much I wanted to do this stream, and there's another stream that I need to do also that I want to do in SoCal, flying over to Catalina Island from San Diego and up to LA and over to Catalina, but that's for a later time. But that's when the problem started, so I never got to do that with this airplane. And let's go. Let's fire her up. We got master switch, alternator, and fuel rich, and fuel is on left. Let's put it on the right. No, on the right. Yeah. It's always better to start with right on this one since it's kind of hard to switch it over. You might just shut it down and the engine will die. So it's better to start with right, and then you have better chances of getting it to work by just switching it one step to the left wing. I don't know why they don't have a both position in this one. Why that is? That's pretty odd, in my opinion. There's probably some good explanation, but you will have to Google it. Why is there no both position on the fuel for Bonanza V-tail or Bonanza. I don't know. I don't think Bonanza. Both of them models have the same issue, I think. You know that, right? How to do flight plan? Oh, really? Okay. Well, um, it's basically easy. You push an airfield and mark it as your origin or your departure, and then you mark another one where you be your destination, and then you have a line coming up between them, and you just um, put, mark out waypoints or airstrips you want to visit along the way. And if the line doesn't match up, so it's going to be like didn't make don't make sense because the order will, mess up, then you can actually mark the specific line, the specific section of the line that you want to be moved to a specific or a part of a specific waypoint or airport. So that's the way you can do it. Also, there's another function in the map, when you set up the flight plan on the globe. You have this issue about, oh, my brain just went blank, sorry. You have this issue about waypoints not showing, and that is default, and it's always going to be default, and you're never going to be able to change it because you can change it in the session. The next time you start up the game, it's going to be default again, so they're not going to show. So when you are in map mode, there is an option further down where I can show you that later, where you can choose to show airspaces and all of the related things to aviation, actually, and waypoints. So then you're going to be easier for you to navigate and have waypoints as references, not just airports, because it's going to be easier for you to do approaches. If you know that you're going to approach from the east, you can mark out waypoints to the east from the airport, and that will give you plenty of time to stabilize and get down in altitude and speed until you are on the runway. So that is a good feature or a good thing to do. Let's fire her up. Did I forget something? I don't think so. Parking brake is applied. All right. Oh boy, I forgot to put this one on. There we go. Profile switch or master switch for FS Realistic. That's why he didn't shout clear prop. And I was like, oh, I shut it down yesterday because I needed to fix things, and all of the sounds was kind of annoying going on in the background. So controls free and correct. Oh boy, yeah, this is the V-tail, right? I can just see the left one. Let's see if the flaps are working, and they do. Yeah, all the way down, just 2 positions. All or nothing. No, just kidding. So it's just position 1 and full. And yeah, let's put the lights on. I have actually switched my switches on my joystick for these light switches versus the gear switch, because I accidentally mixed up landing lights with gears all the time, and it would not be a good thing, in a short final. Oh right, I need to switch on my landing lights, and then you just pop up the gears and the gears disappear into the fuselage and you do a belly landing. So that's not a good thing. So I actually moved it further away, so I kind of have to get used to these. So strobe, yeah, that was a strobe and landing. Strobe and landing are on the same up and down because those are related, obviously. Taxi light, beacon light, and nav light. There we go. Those are the ones we need as for now. But we're going to be taxiing out. It's a short taxi, so I'm going to put everything on. It's a real short taxi. It's nothing to speak about. Pitot heat as well. I always have that on, even though I don't have to. But if you get up on high altitudes for some reason, you will have ice on the engines, propellers, and pilots as well. So you might have bad readings about your speed and your altitude and such. You don't want that. So pitot heat always on. Yeah, and I just remembered I have to switch on all the avionics. Sorry for moving around. I still, have one. Take a peek on my stream on my OBS and see that it actually works right now. Oh, it's amazing. Amazing, amazing. I'm so happy. All right, let's trim for takeoff. And that on this one seems to be with this weight configuration of 2 people in the front and 100 pounds of cargo in the back, would bring it to between 0, neutral, and up. So not all the way up to up, because this plane is kind of back heavy. If you look at it, you can actually tell that it would just so easily just pitch up on the runway, and you think you're gonna be lifting up, but it's way too soon. But it's actually really close to tail strike. So that's why I finally managed to find the right spot on the trim for not doing that. I made a couple of really ugly takeoffs because of that. All right, let's call in and let's get the weather. Let's do this right.
Hotel November, automated weather observation 2100 Zulu. Wind 078 at Niner. Visibility 10 in heavy rain.
At Niner.
Sky condition, ceiling 500 feet overcast.
What?
Temperature 22C, dew point 10C, altimeter 3009er.
3009er.
Papa Hotel
Okay, I got
November,
what I
automated
need.
weather observation 2100 Zulu.
Traffic 122-900. There we go. And we're just gonna announce the taxi. No, announce the takeoff because it's so short. 078, that would be runway 8. And announce taxi. And announce takeoff. Departing to, well, I would say it would be more to the east, actually. Oh, west, sorry. All right.
Papa Hotel November, traffic Beechcraft, November 174 Sierra Delta, taking off runway 8.
Yeah, so north is down currently because I have this set on track, so it's tracking the plane instead of showing north up on the top. So it's actually twisted, but I like it that way, except for when I zoom out. That's the only way. Then it's I think it's resets to north up position when you zoom all the way out, but we're not going to do that right now. Let's taxi out and do a run up. Yeah, it's a lot to keep track of before you get going. That was my issue for a long time. I just was anxious to get up and fly, I mean, yeah, I missed plenty of things all the way and messed up the flying because of that. So better just to get in that pattern of preparing everything, and then you're going to be a little bit faster with that every time, and maybe more selective of what is really important. But let's see what Wolfgang tells is right here before we do the run up. When I flew the last time, I marked an airfield on the globe, but then when I was flying, the airfield didn't exist. That's interesting. Well, sometimes you need to be really, how would I say? The marking can disappear if you don't apply it, I think. Something, I don't know. But that happened to me too. But usually I'm the one making something different or forgetting to apply it or whatever. Because it was there and then it's not. But that's usually on my Garmin on the other one. So I don't know. You're going to figure it out. You're good at this and you're just going to take your time and it's going to be fine. Eventually, of course. Alright, I'm going to set it on 1700 RPM. I'm going to test the magnetos. I'm going to try to test the magnetos. There we go. It's supposed to drop somewhat in the RPM. It doesn't drop much, but it does drop some. Yeah. Maybe the RPM is wrong. I don't know. It's different on different airplanes, I think. I'm gonna set the mixture. Usually I check the EGT for that, exhaust gas temperature gauge, for getting the best value. It didn't disappear if it wasn't in the world. Oh, all right. I gotcha. Yeah. So you're flying mostly on Europe side, and all these deviations probably going to be more relevant on that side because they tend to prioritize North America, as you've noticed. So that is one more reason I not want to fly so much in Europe. I mean, depending on where, of course, but I think most part of Scandinavia is kind of. I think you need to download something to get a better, better world in Northern Europe. And I think there's plenty to download, but it depends on how dedicated you are to fly just in Sweden and Norway. I mean, I would like to fly in Norway, and for that, I mean, they did a world update though, so it's better than it was before. But I think it's still lacking. So, all right, fuel. We got fuel. We got amps. We got everything on the green. Controls are free and correct. We need to set our heading. That would be 283. 283. Sorry for. I just don't want to zoom in right now. 283. It's 29. 29. 283. Something like that. And flaps. We're gonna take off with no flaps. Trim is set for takeoff. And cowl flaps are open. That is good. Lights are on. Harness and condition levers are set. Mixture is set for best, and prop is full. Well, takeoff clearance. We done that, right? Let's do it again anyway. Departing west.
Papa Hotel Hotel, November, traffic Beechcraft, November 174 Sierra Delta, taking off runway 8 departure to the west.
Yeah, that's great. Norway is gonna be an awesome. It's gonna be awesome content. I'm gonna have to backtrack here and turn around. I had one more exit here, but I didn't notice until I was on the other one. It doesn't matter. These airstrips are so small, but I think for me it was a good investment to buy these airstrips because the level of detail is so wonderful. I mean, Hawaii is beautiful, and why would you have generic stuff laying around and just not, kind of ruining the view? So these are, and they were not expensive. They were on sale, so it was a good thing to. Yeah, I was curious about to know how they looked actually. So I love to go there someday and fly between these strips and fields and see for myself. It would be awesome. Oh, cool. I mean, that sounds great. That sounds great. That sounds like interesting like interesting content. I thought about that myself, but at least in the simulator, I get bored with basically the same environment, and there's plenty of that in Europe. If you're not in Norway or in Switzerland or Austria, it's going to be basically the same. There are a few mountains, of course, hills around, but I'm I'm all for that. So just flying around, crop fields all day long, that would just make me so bored. So that's why I don't do it. I'm not saying it's wrong. I actually started a world round trip going over the Baltic Sea, and going south uh, towards Poland and that with a friend, but we didn't continue. And I think the main reason was we made it to Hungary actually, but then after that we didn't continue. Well, it was, I don't know how many times I actually started a world round trip and I just got not even halfway, like just to start. It's always the same. So that's why I'm doing this cross country over the states and Mexico, because it's kind of, I'm staying away from the east side of the U.S. because that's basically the same except for, what is it, Virginia? I'm not sure. I'm more familiar with the west part of the states, and I think it's more varying, except for the New Mexico part. It's plenty of desert land. But I actually was very surprised over that Mexico was so green, because I was just expecting tumbleweed. That's what I was expecting for Mexico. So I was like, nah, should I go there, But now I think it's gorgeous and amazing mountain ranges and a lot of green, so it's amazing. Yeah, we made it to Greenland. That was also sad because that was just before the fun would have started, right? Coming over to Canada and everything, it would be pretty awesome. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, it's a big project. It's a real big project. All right, let's go. There we go. Alright, this seems stable. It's not so bad weather today, and it was last time I tried when the stream messed up again. Oh, okay, here we go. Just catching up some speed, so I'm not gonna do so much of a climb right now. Okay, gears coming up, and there we go. So this is a good thing to actually practice on, not to be too hard with the pitch up, because you end up in a stall if you don't keep track of your airspeed. It's supposed to be still or accelerating, nothing below, so rather accelerating actually. And that is a good way of a reference if you're doing a good climb or not. And the conditions can change over trees and such, so you can end up starting with a deep, a really hard pitch up, and then you're gonna see the airspeed drop like crazy, and you're gonna hear that buzzer sound, and then you're gonna be out of control, dropping a wing, and that would be it. So it's better just to stay along the runway and not too much of a pitch, in my opinion. Not only my opinion, that is a fact. But yeah, good to know your aircraft, good to know your performance, your weight, and you will know how much you can pitch up basically if you're good in math. I'm not good in math, so I have other references. There are plenty of different pilots out there with the same issues. Alright, let's get back on the throttle. And gears are for some reason not up. Guess why? Because I clicked the wrong button. There we go. What I did was switch up the switch off the strobe lights. That was not my intention. So landing lights and taxi lights off. Let's get the yaw damper on. I think it's on now. No, it's not. I clicked it twice. Yaw damper is now on. Good. and that would help us not to drop in turns, if I understand that correctly. Hello, Chloe, Arena Fitness. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you. For some reason, I don't see the timelines. Why can I see? Maybe I need to add it in the chat. Toggle timestamps. There we go. That's better. I want to see when people writing, because I want to know how many weeks it took me to answer, right? So in this case, it took me 4 minutes to answer Chloe's hello. Sorry about that, Chloe. I'm trying to improve, but it's a lot about flying, so it will take your focus for sure. I don't know how the sound is. I have reduced the flight sim sound with 12 decibels, so I think we should be good. But it feels like I'm shouting, so I'm actually gonna turn down the volume of the simulator for myself in my headset, and I'm gonna have some coffee now. Cheers. Good to be back. Although in 2 days I'm gonna tear apart my computer anyway and move all the components into a bigger case. I haven't built this one, and you know, I figured maybe it's good to go through all the cables and everything. There might be something, you know, maybe some cable is in a bad position and it's actually kind of short-circuiting my USB. You never know. I mean, connectors can be failing, stuff like that. So I'm going to go through it all and just move all the components into cooler box in the cooler case, and that would be it. Then I can consider it as I built the computer. I'm gonna have help, of course, from a friend of mine who really good with building computers. So we get two set of eyes on the project, and at the same time we're gonna pick up the old 1080 Ti OC and open it up and change the thermal paste and thermal pads. Then I'm gonna give it to my daughter because she needs a better card too. So it was not a bad investment to get another card, not for this price, but it was not planned on, so I guess other stuff might be suffering. Hopefully not, but in the way it is. If you're trying to hold on to your money and stuff happen, and then it's up to you if it's a priority or not. And it appears that I am committed to this activity, and that I really like streaming and sharing my flights and my trips in ATS and ETS. So it appears to be important to me. I was not sure about it because I just started in February, so I was like, well, I can just play, you know, without streaming. Then I was like, it feels lonely, too lonely. I mean, that's not bad, but it's I can have more fun to share it with someone, get some feedback, you know, questions, stuff like that, I guess. All right, we are going into busy airspace here, kind of busy for being Hawaii. And we have what was it? Jesus, these names. I love these names, and I tend to forget them anyways. Oh, that was not. I was trying to get up the log. Nav log, please. Thanks. I'm gonna change this setting because I wanted to match with my camera, with my webcam. Yeah, that looks kind of okay. And then I'm gonna have this one right here. So, yeah, Kahului, the airport of Kahului, and Papa Hotel Oscar Golf is the ICAO code. Kind of bad visibility here, but we will call them up now because it's time. I didn't do any flight following. It was a short trip, so it's going to be a few of that. But yeah, we have Kahului, and the frequency for that tower is, let's get the 80s first. No, let's get the tower. They always tell me where to land anyway. So 118,700. Go, and we're gonna request a full landing. Then we're gonna just keep on going. Not gonna be a touch and go because I'm gonna taxi a bit. I want to take off on runway number 5. I actually want to land on it, but they will never let me. And these small aircrafts usually land on number 5, so that's just something about
Maui Tower Beechcraft.
they're gonna have me on number 2, I'm sure.
Sierra Delta is 6 miles east, 2,500 feet with kilo to land.
Beechcraft November 174 Sierra Delta Maui.
There you have it.
Altimeter tree 0.08 wind 050 at 14.
008.
Enter right downwind runway 2.
Right downwind.
Right downwind runway to Beechcraft.
All right, we
Sierra
are
Delta.
too high here because we are actually in the pattern of airplanes taking off. So either I need to be really low, which I'm apparently doing right now, or higher up. I should have gone higher up, so this was the bad decision, but I'm already on it, so I need to go through with it before I reach the runway. I'm sure they're gonna provide me with a number to call after landing, after doing this stunt. Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure that the game is stable with this graphics card in the moment. I'm trying it out still, so prepare for, you know, possible crashes. I don't know, since it's a new graphics card for me, and it's not new, so it's used. And I also trying to put full on the power target, 120%, which I earlier explained is just merely unlocking the potential of the graphics card more than anything else. So it's not overclocking, it's not changing the voltage, nothing like that. It's just basic, you know, you get full priority, here you go, and it will take it if it's needed. And every card should be able to handle that if they are not defect. So the last card I had, it couldn't, because it got unstable, and I actually had to clock it down too. So I had to do those two things. So, but this one so far seems to be stable with 120% of power target. I'm not gonna overclock it. It doesn't. I don't have to do that.
Clear to land runway 2.
Yeah, runway 2. I might do runway 5. I mean, I want to have a communication with them, but they don't let me.
Clear to land runway to Beechcraft for Sierra Delta.
So that would mean we would enter approach. We are on base for runway 5, but we are actually downwind for runway 2. So I need to decide, and I actually gonna go with number 5, even though they said number 2, because I would be able to ask for it, but I would be able to ask for it. I don't know why I sound like him. Get down. Sorry about that. Full prop. Landing lights on. Taxi lights on. Let's put the fuel pump on and just get down in speed, because we're too darn fast. And we also lined up with something else at the runway, as I see it. Runway is to the right, so we do what do you call this? when you move sideways before landing, switching between landing and runways. I forgot. I might mess this one up because I'm talking too much. Yeah, that was not the gears. There we go. That was the gears. And mamma mia. Right. Props 2. No, prop. Jesus, yeah. Flaps 2. Yesterday, yeah, I think it was yesterday, when I flew outside of the stream, I actually landed mostly with flaps position 1, because I wanted to have more speed, since it was so turbulent. Okay, full flaps, yeah. It was so turbulent that I had troubles in full flaps position. I didn't have any, I didn't have much speed, so I have way less authority over the aircraft, over my control surfaces, and with full flaps going that slow when it was so, I think it was around 60 knots, and I don't know the gust, but it was plenty of gust, so yeah, sorry about that.
121.9er Beechcraft for
So
Sierra
see, he
Delta.
didn't argue with me about runway 5, and that is a good thing, because that would just be annoying. I'm actually gonna move this one piece down. Yeah, so we're just gonna take off again, cleaning up, flaps up, landing lights off, and strobe lights off. There we go. So this is gonna take some time for me to get used to, because I changed around my switches. Let's look from outside a bit. This is also pretty airport, really nice. So this is a small terminal, or the small ramp on this side. On the other side it's commercial jets. It's truly very pretty. I love it. And this aircraft kind of fits in. I don't know, something about the green and the old, chrome or shiny fuselage kind of makes it look older than it is, even though it is kind of old. I think this V-tail model was made between 66 and 67, something like that. So as I understand it, this might not be true, but as I understand it from that, it's just 2 years of production with the V-tail. I need to check that, but from that information, it seemed to be just 2 years. But the Bonanza they're still making the Bonanza, so I think it's the longest production aircraft ever, the Bonanza, actually. They also call this plane the Doctor Killer, or the Widowmaker, because of its unstable characteristics due to the V-tail. I don't know, I mean, it seems pretty stable to me, but I guess when you do certain things in certain conditions, it has some tendencies that if you do too much of it, and things started to go bad pretty quick. So I guess that's what they are referring to. And it's hard to recover. You need plenty of altitude to recover, so that is a case, actually. Mr. Tail Cheese, are you still with me, or have you gone missing? Okay, let's see. Controls are kind of, yeah, connection lost. What? Hope it's not my internet. Stream seems to be up still. I'm gonna check my stats. I am live. I don't know why it doesn't show network. Alright, it was just the flight simulator. Now it's back. Alright. Okay, not gonna do run up. We're just gonna continue. So, gonna set takeoff pitch, takeoff trim. Sorry. We got fuel. We got amps. We got controls of 3 incorrect, and we're gonna set for 247 of heading around that. Yeah. And flaps are going to be 0 flaps for takeoff. Trim is set for takeoff. Cowl flaps are open. Lights are on. Are they? Yeah, although not one. Hang on. There we go. Strobe. Harness and mixture is set and prop is full. And let's get off. Let's take our clear. Get our takeoff clearance. Jeez, king a lot. I actually want the 80s first. I kind of need it. 128 600.
Maui Airport information. Kilo 2100 Zulu. Wind 050 at 14. Visibility 10.
Wow.
Sky condition 1,900 feet. Scattered 5,000 feet scattered. Temperature 24. Viewpoint 10. Altimeter 30.08. ILS
go.
Yankee runway 2 in use. Land.
It seems like I can't contact I need to contact the ground. I don't know why. I mean, I should have done it. I know that, but I was already on the tower frequency. I was still on the tower frequency, and now I can't really. Right, taxi for takeoff options. Maybe I need to do that. Parting. Yeah, that we're gonna be west as well.
Maui ground Beechcraft, November
And
17
they're gonna say
Delta,
taxi to
request
runway
taxi
2.
for west departure with Lima.
I'm not gonna do that.
Beechcraft November 174 Sierra Delta taxi 2 and hold short of runway 2 via taxiway Foxtrot cross runway 20 Foxtrot Hotel Echo cross runway 2 Echo Alpha Charlie.
That sounds very complicated.
Contact tower on 118.7 when ready.
118.7.
Taxi 2 and hold short runway 2 via taxiway Foxtrot cross runway 20 Foxtrot Hotel Echo cross runway 2 Echo Alpha Charlie Beechcraft for Sierra Delta.
Yeah. There we go. And now we can get a clearance from tower of runway 2.
Maui Tower Beechcraft, November 174 Sierra Delta at runway 2 ready for departure to the west.
Departure. All right.
Beechcraft November 174 Sierra Delta altimeter 30.08 wind 050 at 14. Departure to the west approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 2.
Clear for takeoff runway 5. Except for Sierra Delta.
Cleared for takeoff runway 2 Beechcraft for Sierra Delta.
Yeah. All right. Let's get going. Wonderful, wonderful. I love the clouds. It's beautiful. Very nice. Alright, we see we got plenty of crosswinds, so yeah, runway 2 would have been better, but here we go. I'm still a rascal. Gonna do it anyway. Some left input on the aileron. Slide back pressure, here we go. And gears coming up. I push the right button this time. Tapping the brakes. Stop them from rolling, keep rolling in the wheel well. Just checking for traffic. Yeah, let's turn. it's better turn before anyway. When you're crossing a runway, I would, I don't know if it's right, but I would if I could. Just turn away as fast as possible. So here we are, and we're gonna ease up on the, yeah, so we're gonna make one deviation from the flight plan here because it wants to go straight to, hang on, straight to next island, and that is the island of Lanai, and also the strip called Lanai. But first we're gonna actually visit another airstrip on the northern side of this island of Maui, yeah. Good. Probably gonna tell us to switch frequencies pretty soon. Let's get rid of this. Yeah, so let's see. See if we can find that. It's easier to navigate with this one in this case. Right, it's Papa Hotel, Juliet Hotel. So we're gonna put that into our flight plan. And before we do that, I'm actually gonna hang on. There we go. So heading, change heading, there we go, and autopilot heading mode, and vertical speed 800 up to 5,000. Let's say 3,000 would be fine. We don't have to go all the way to 5,000 in this case. And while it's doing its thing, we can add this airport, hopefully. I have no clue. I don't remember how to do this, but I might mess everything up. So enter PHNI. No, that was not. Oh, I remember I could do this before, but I don't remember how to do it right now. And we're almost there, so it's not gonna make any difference. Let's do this another time. Yeah, let's do this another time. There's a quite simple method on this one, but I don't use it that much anymore since I started with a 750XI, and I haven't done it much anyway, so I kind of had to update all the time or get back into routine around this 530 Garmin. Right, the autopilot is struggling. That was a big updraft, as you can see, just climbing up the, throw me up to 3,000 from 2,700 or so, just poof, 300 feet just like that. All right, I'm gonna deactivate autopilot, disconnect it, and our airstrip should be somewhere in the vicinity here on the left. So this is the north shore of the island of Maui. Maui? I don't know how to pronounce it. Maui. Then we're gonna get over to that island over there, Lanai, and from Lanai we're gonna fly over to Molokai. And it seems like Molokai has bad visibility. It's gonna be interesting. Actually, seems to be the case around Lanai as well. Alright, we're gonna go left traffic and land much into it as possible. what is going on here? Oh, why can't I use the radio? Hang on. Oh, this is. I missed it. I was prepared for it, then I missed it. All right. Nearest airport list is this one. Yeah. 122700. Flying a bit fast with this airplane. Select runway for landing. Let's say runway 2 and full stop. We are on downwind.
Papa Hotel Juliet Hotel, traffic Beechcraft, November 174 Sierra Delta, is on downwind runway 2.
Alright, landing lights on. Ah, my neck hurts. Yeah, we're almost there. We're not there yet, but it's right there. There's the airfield. Also downloaded one, beautiful airstrip. Very small. That's what I like about them. I would want to listen to the ATIS, but I guess it's basically the same as last time. Oh, yeah, that was it. 118.525. 525. Oh. It's not vocal. 046 at 14. All right. We are kind of slow, but that's okay. Now it's full stop landing, and I'm gonna be turning base to final. Let's just announce final. There we go.
Papa Hotel Juliet Hotel, traffic Beechcraft, November 174.
Because it's gonna be such a. I mean, we're not gonna turn base. Actually, we're gonna turn final. So no base. We were too close for base. That's what I consider it as base. If you actually stop rolling in a turn and keep base, that's base for me. But I might be wrong. Right, gears coming down. Flaps position 1. Killing the power a little bit so we get down in speed. And trying to line up here. Stream is fully good still. Amazing, amazing. Tend to drift off to the left. Tends to drift off. So I'm gonna land with flaps 2 or flaps 1. Sorry. Might go full flaps just before touchdown. We'll see. No, I'm not gonna go flaps full. Might go around. Oh boy, I should have done a go around definitely. See, that is exactly what happens when you kind of lock your brain into must learn mode. You don't have to land it. So if you have, fuel and a functioning aircraft, you don't have to land. Period. If it's not safe, it's not safe. Just go around until you do it right, until it feels safe enough. It's a gamble all along. Like, you kind of need to move that reference to a higher standard where you not, you know, settle for less. I'm still battling it. Not settle for less. Either it's gonna be very near to 100% or not being a landing at all. Very near. Obviously 100% is basically only reached in very calm winds and good circumstances, but as close as possible to 100% in these conditions. So this is the next airport, if I can call it airport, airfield. Landing lights off, there we go. Kind of a cool color in that one. I don't know if I like it, but it's cool because it's different. It might be, you know, not real. Like a bug. I don't know. But yeah, let's check this part out. Should have done this on every airport. I've done a stream like this before, although I don't know if I actually went into every one of the terminals, but I know I did some of them. But I think I can do this one. This was not proper taxi, but this is where we're gonna be. I'm gonna go over to let's see, drone mode, and check out this. We can actually get into the terminal itself, which is very cool. I mean, they have what I mean with get in is like they have proper interior, very well done. I'm just gonna try to, yeah, that's good enough. So yeah, Ohana means family, right? No one or something. No one gets left behind. Oh, so there is an actual floor. That is cool. I can't go through the floor. That is positive. And let's go through this. We are like, hang on, I'm gonna slow this down a bit because it's just too darn fast. That's a little better. Look at this. This is amazing, right? Hot iced coffee. Hot dog. Hot and iced coffee. Look at this. These textures are high class, high functioning, high quality, I mean. This is so cool. You can freaking, yeah, you can read about these, but this might be my setup. So it might be fully, you know, really sharp, crisp, just as I have a, I always put a setting into my graphics card that would prioritize performance overall, not textures, and textures might be suffering a little bit with that. So I'm going to try to reset that one sometimes, just see if it's any difference in performance. Maybe I can have it on full. I am kind of sure I can. So alright, let's get back to it. Let's get back flying. Taxi out. Runway for takeoff. Runway 2. Announce taxi.
Papa Hotel Juliet Hotel, traffic Beechcraft, November 174 Sierra Delta, is taxiing to runway 2.
Really nice. got fuel, we got pressure and amps. Everything is on the green. Controls are free and correct. Flaps gonna be 0. Trim is set for takeoff. Cowl flaps are open. Mixture is set, and prop is full. Harness. Let's see, lights. Landing lights on. And get our takeoff clearance, and checklist is complete. We're gonna go west.
Papa Hotel Juliet Hotel, traffic Beechcraft, November 174 Sierra Delta, taking off runway 2 west departure.
Slightly uphill here. That's kind of cool. They would put it in. I think we're gonna use the whole runway anyway. So we're gonna backtrack a little bit here. Alright, sorry about that. Now I'm back. And let's take off. Checklist complete. And full power. Full power! Power, 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 power! Trying to stay on center line here. And yeah, she just basically takes off with the right trim. You almost don't have to put any back pressure into it. That's if the winds are good. Alright, gears coming up. Tapping the brakes. Landing light off, taxi light off. Initiating left turn and setting course for Lanai. Island of Lanai. Lanai. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's okay. Lanai. I'd say Lanai. Lanai? Who knows? Okay, I'm gonna set the autopilot for a bit. Just relax. And we're gonna try to get some, you know, gliding distance, so we're gonna climb a bit on full power for now. With full power we get 1 hour 11 minutes of fuel. That's kind of, hang on, maybe I need to check something. I actually set that, but it might have changed. No, it hasn't. We actually consumed that much. All right. It's okay. We can fuel up at Molokai. They got fuel. These might as well. I don't know, actually. Lanai. All right. So 3,000. Let's say 4,000 feet. And autopilot, heading mode. There we go. And vertical speed. Not what? It's like 1,300. No, well, that's because I was climbing 1,300 for the moment. I guess that's why it's set 1,300. I'll change that. So I still don't know how to apply altitudes on the flight plan, because you can do that, or should be able to do that, and that would be really useful because it's integrated into the Garmin 530, and then I could use VNav on the flight plan as well. Just I don't have to, you know, worry about the vertical speed. It would just climb the best climb rate, I think. So we got clouds. All right, we're gonna go to the left, it seems. Seems better to do that. Really nice, really nice. I've been looking forward to this. So a little about the graphics card, 84% of GPU temp right now. I'd say that's around 4 degrees less than the other card, so it needs an overhaul for sure. GPU load is full, 99%. And the clock is kind of slow, on the slow side. I don't know why it does that, but it doesn't matter as long as it works. But it actually down clocking itself. I know when I started up, simulator it was on 1936, 1911, somewhere around that megahertz. Now it's 1835. It's fluctuating a bit, but I would say that makes sense in a way that the other graphic card, I needed to do that manually, like, you know, clock it down a bit so it would not boost that much all the time, because that made the game unstable. So I don't know, maybe something I will check in on. I will check that. What is the deal? I mean, they can vary since the other one is an OC version, so it might boost more, of course, but ATS doesn't like it anyway. And not the flight simulator as well. I think that was also the case. Alright, I'm going down to 1,500 feet. 1,000 feet per minute descent. Still see the coastline. I think I'm gonna stay along with it because of the bad visibility as much as possible. I am actually gonna navigate further out to sea, just not to, you know, I don't want to hit ground too soon. So it's better over water. Then we can take a turn back. Actually can call up Lanai airstrip. One 11837 first. Yeah, 11837 for the ADIS. So it's the same problem again. The audio just disappears. Okay, winds are 011 at 7. I'm gonna write this down. 011 at 7 and altimeter 3014. There we go. That's 15, 14. There we go. 122900. Traffic. And select runway. And that will be runway 3. Full landing and announce position.
Papa Hotel November Yankee traffic Beechcraft, November 174 Sierra Delta, 8 miles southeast, 1,800 feet.
We are actually too low. 2,500 would be better. Climbing up to 2,500. The land mass is kind of high. I didn't realize that. Yeah, this is good. This is great. Alright, landing lights, taxi lights on. Oh, hang on. There we go. Fuel pump on. I constantly forget the fuel pump. I'm actually gonna deactivate the yaw damper. Just feels like I might do better landings without it. I don't know, but I know some aircraft you should put that on off. I mean, it's on the checklist. Yaw damper in off position or off while landing, taking off, I think, or at least at landing. All right, we're not doing very good with vertical speed. I don't know why. Please just function. Thank you. Heading is still on. I think 2,500 is pretty good, depending on how close we are to the airstrip. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. That's the terminal right there. You can see it. So we're gonna have a short final. We're gonna announce final.
Papa Hotel November Yankee traffic Beechcraft, November
disconnecting
17
autopilot.
Sierra Delta is on final runway tree to land.
Gears coming down. And prop is full. Let's see if I can go through this. Lights and inlets on. Prop is full. Gear is down. Flaps are not. There we go. Flaps. And yeah, checklist complete. Sorry, I went just through the most of it in my head. We are kind of in a short final here, so Wind seems calmer on this side, so I might go with flaps full. Although I'm not too sure. It's kind of a smooth ride, and we need to roll all the way to the other end. So I think we're gonna do it like this: flaps 1 and yeah. Although I need to practice not to touch down so hard with flaps 1. It means that my speed is too low, I guess, so I'm losing lift basically. Oh boy. That was acceptable. Cleaning up. Fuel pump off. Landing lights coming off. Strobes coming off. There we go. I need to check one more thing here with the logic of my setup. That's taxi, and that is nav, and that is gear, and that is beacon. Well, yeah, I need to change them again, and that would be create even more confusion, of course. But I would love to have all the main things like landing, taxi, and gear downwards on my switches. And I would like to have beacon, nav, and strobe upwards on my switches. That would make sense. That would create logic, but I would have to get used to it. Alright, let's do it. Control options. And that is Exodus. Lights. No. Do it like this instead. Landing. Toggle landing lights. There we go. Clear. Start scanning. Can they have two functions? Yeah, well, that's no use actually. Alright, cancel. Hang on. We need to do it this way. Put input. So this has strobe lights. Just clear input. And just put in strobes should be up. Validate. Landing. Toggle landing lights. Down. There we go. Validate. So I have to remove one from this. No? Strobes. Okay, that's working good. Then we got search by input. Taxi lights. I want to have taxi light. Wing lights, nav lights. Okay. Okay. Clear. Validate. Clear. Validate. Taxi lights. Down. There we go. Validate. And then we got wing lights, wing lights upwards, validate, and also, was it nav lights? I think it was nav lights. Nav lights. Well, toggle on nav lights. Toggle nav lights, there we go. And it should be on the same one. Middle up. Yep, validate. We're just gonna double check that it actually has 2 inputs in this one. 2 relevant, yes. And taxi was done, so the last part is actually beacon. So beacon. How about beacon? Toggle beacon lights. And that would be upwards on this one. There we go, validate. Let's see if all of this makes sense. So this would be strobe lights, yes, should be off. Landing lights, taxi lights, yes. And beacon there, and nav and wing lights there. Alright. So we got everything covered. I'm just gonna make a mess trying to relate to that later, but it's fine. Alright, so the weather has changed, obviously. I would say it's a little more exciting. Not that beautiful, but it's more exciting. It's beautiful. I mean, it is nice. Oh boy, my water started to smell. Or the bottle or whatever it is. It's not that bad yet, but it's during, you know, few hours, so it's so weird. But having that in the fridge unopened, that's no issue. You can actually have it in the fridge and open it every once in a while. It will stay fresh anyway. So how, I don't know how the temperature is affecting something. Let's check this one out as well. Here we go. She seems happy. Yeah, deep thoughts, for sure. Let's try something. Get these weird ideas. You know what I'm about to do, yeah. Oh, bad. I'm just kidding. This one is happy. I know it. I've seen him before. He's very, yeah, he's happy with his life. That's for sure. You can tell. Uh-huh. That's a nice drawing, isn't it? Yeah. Where do you think you're going? And what? What are you looking at? I'm trying to turn around, but I can't. Hang on. There we go. She's not looking. All right. Okay. I pushed the bad button. No problem. We just keep flying. I'm not going to do it all over again. All right. Stuff happens. Stuff happens. Stream has been up for 1.5 hours and is still running good. So I wouldn't say I'm very surprised. It was a simple solution, and I just made the world out of it because I just forgot that little detail of putting administrator on the program. Oh boy, hang on. Right, the wind is 011 at 7. And 2.10 degrees, temperature 23 degrees, altimeter 3014. So it's the same. Let's keep going. Let's tune traffic first and just select the runway. Number 3. And we are going north-ish, I guess. Yeah, that would be the closest.
Papa Hotel November Yankee Traffic Beechcraft, November 174 Sierra Delta, taking off runway, tree departure to the north.
So landing lights on, strobe lights on. Yeah, I actually nailed it. Fuel pumps on. Oh, I'm sitting so like my neck's starting to hurt. I'm very not relaxed. I guess it's gonna be that way when you're gonna island hop like this. You have a few minutes of flight, then you land and you just look around and stuff happening all the time. It's not like a commercial flight or anything. Yeah, trimmed for takeoff. And we got fuel. We have got. I'm actually gonna change the tank, the wing. There we go. Because we have a slight imbalance right now. No issues though. All temp is fine, pressure is fine, amps is fine. Controls, free incorrect. Switches and instruments. Flaps, no flaps. Trim is set for takeoff. Lights are on, and cowl flaps are open. Harness, full prop, mixture set, takeoff, mixture set for not takeoff but set. Alright, and we have announced takeoff, so we're good. Checklist complete. Gonna let it take off by itself, hopefully do it. There we go. It did it. Alright, landing gear up. Tapping the brakes. Landing lights, taxi lights off. Yes, I did it. Yeah, so over to Molokai, and from there we are going to Oahu. But first we're gonna fuel up a bit, I think. We'll see. Kinda need to level out and see what gauge is telling us with our fuel. Yeah, 1 hour 20 minutes. I'd say it's gonna be a definite. Yeah, we need to fuel up a bit. Stay on top of things. I don't know what is going on. I think we got plenty of fuel, but maybe I'm not using it right. Maybe fuel up a little. Even it out in the wings, you could say. So fuel up in the right wing. Alright, fuel pump off. And let's see if nav works now actually. And we're gonna go up to 5,000 feet. Let's say 5,000, yeah. There we go. Yeah, so I put in nav right now, but I don't know if it's gonna work. We'll see. If it's gonna be connected. Last time it didn't function. It started off functioning well, then it just stopped. So maybe this bird needs some updates, I don't know. Yeah. I can't see crap, can you? Let's see if it's turning. It should be turning now. So funny. I'm like, it's turning, then I'm looking at this. It doesn't. Maybe it's tracking the right way, we'll see. No, it's turning actually. Yes, it's working. All right. So only nav should be lit, because that was, I think someone else lit, like CPLD was lit at some point, and I got arm lit at some other point, and both of the times nav didn't work as it should. Currently IFR. You think? Okay. Yeah, let's go through the checklist. Slow down a bit to brakes. Yaws, toss, yaws off. Cool. VRF is well 90. Lights are on. Let's see. See, I need to think now because there we go. Fuel pump on. Inlets are cowl flaps open. Prop is full. And yeah. Autopilot off. We are overrunning the airstrip. I don't know if it's supposed to be down here, so we are actually above it, so it's fine. We're probably gonna go left traffic anyway, so it makes sense. I think they want us to do that. So Molokai Tower, 125 700, 125 700, and 128 200. 228 200. That's for the weather. And it's 010 wind is 010 at 14. And altimeter is just have to slow down a bit because we're freaking fast. 3008. There we go. Molokai Tower, request full stop landing.
Molokai Tower Beechcraft, November 174 Sierra Delta, is 3 miles northwest, 2,100 feet with hotel to land.
Flaps 1. Yeah, and I can see wind 030 at 11, according to her, and clear to land to runway 5. Okay.
Cleared to land runway 5 Beechcraft for Sierra Delta.
So this probably happened because we lost connection at one point with the simulator, and then it basically goes over to another function, but we can't hear it. And I'm happy to say I don't want to hear it because the other ATC is worse than the first one. It's like Azure or whatever, you know. AI voice sounds freaky to me. Also, it sounds like a little boy, about 11 or 12 years old. Not that that is wrong in any way, but AI makes it sound creepy, like not human. Of course, it's an AI, but it's making very bad imitation. Sorry. So, and you would actually wonder why you are talking to a 12-year-old sitting in an ATC. Wouldn't you? Alright. So this runway kind of slopes. It's a slope. It's how do you say it? Like some degree of slope downwards, like downhill from here. I can't explain it good. Sorry. As it appears to be anyway. I think it is. It's always the same. My puppy's looking good. 100 knots. Flaps 1. Good approach, and we will expect some downdrafts after those trees. Always, and it also can go sideways, so turbulence overall. So I don't mind coming in a bit too high on this one. I got surprised a couple of times coming in here. I'm actually gonna go full flaps here. A little more power. A little more authority. There we go. Here it comes. Oh boy! Yeah, this happened again. Jesus Christ. Like crazy. It's like no winds at all. I don't know what happens there. It's so crazy. This is the... Well, it's the first time I'm making this kind of mess, that's for sure. Wow. I don't know how you reset your plane either, so... That's annoying. Wow. Yeah, and I know it. And I know it. I couldn't do any input much enough, you know? It would not do it. Maybe it's because I have a slight delay on my control units because I don't want them to be too sensitive in the middle. So it's kind of accelerating, and that might be wrong. That might be totally off. But otherwise I would end up doing very small corrections in the middle all the time. Just stay in the middle. And I didn't want to do that, so that's why I kind of moved the profile so it would not make as much input in the middle range and more input as you coming further down, you know, so it would be more efficient. So maybe I should have done something like this in an instant. I thought I did. I'm gonna check the stream later. Oh boy. Right. Keyboard. Reset something. Reset flight is not a good thing, I think, because it's gonna... Really? Nothing? Or flight, actually. Flight. Yeah, oh, I don't know how to do this, so just have to go to main menu here. I messed up. Ugh. I get a little tired too, so I might continue a stream later. I think it's been a lot on me lately, so I think I'm gonna end the stream now. Anyway, well, it was not a good ending, but at least the stream is working as it should. So hope to see you in the next one, and